to Talk to Me Tuesday. It is February 7th, 2023, and I'm Jules. The quilt top that I had behind me last week has been given to the long armor for hip stitch. Quilt Icing is the name of her business, and her name is Tisha. And so she's working on that right now. Meanwhile, I've started another quilt, and this is a personal project. It is actually something that's been in the works. Well, it's been in the pending list, my queue of quilt tops that I need to make for a number of years. It's actually for a friend and former co-worker. And I had been accumulating leftovers from friends and fabric samples and things like that of Dia de los Muertos fabric. And of course, a lot of it is Alexander Henry. He does a lot of that stuff. And when I was rearranging in here, I came across the bag that had everything in it. And my goodness, it's like one of the prints, I think the blue one, I have a little over 2 yards, maybe 2.5. This pink one, I had over 3 yards. There's a black one that's the same print. I had 3.5 yards of that. That's going to actually be on the back and probably the binding. But the rest, I had a yard of this, and then I had a little remnant of this, same print. And then the rest was all scraps and fabric samples. So I had enough to do, these are 6.5-inch unfinished, so 6-inch finished squares. And I kept playing around with them in EQ8, and I finally decided that the scale I liked best, I came and cut a few of them in 2 different sizes, and I decided that the scale I liked best, even though the prints, some of them are really large scale, was using a 6.5-inch unfinished block. So then I designed the quilt in EQ8 and was bouncing ideas off Jennifer at the time. You know, should I just use the 3 fabrics that I have yardage of? Should I use the scraps? And I decided to come back and just start throwing the scraps on the wall, and that's how this began. The best part of this project that has made me so happy with it, every bit of fabric for this quilt is coming from my stash. All of the blocks, the sashing. This sashing is metallic grunge creme, and or grunge metallic, and it is left over from, I had my math all wrong when I did the bendy quilt for my great nephew Braden, and so I still had a ton of that left, and I started playing with different strips for sashing and decided this was perfect, and I have a lot, so that's what I'm going with. And I love it. I really love it. So all of the rows are pieced, and I'm now in the process of attaching the sashing below each row, and then I will be able to get it bordered, and it will go into the queue for being quilted. And I am amassing some personal things to where it will be time for me to get the quilt frame cleaned up and ready and plan an entire weekend of quilting sometime soon, hopefully by the end of this month. This went from conception, you know, throwing out ideas and stuff, probably Thursday or Friday night, I think, is when that started. It was when Jennifer was without power, and it started out as me just trying to come up with something to distract her, but then I got obsessed with it, and I couldn't stop, she will tell you. So yeah, I'm really excited with how quickly it's coming together. Really just, you know, the cutting of the blocks took a while because I did have to cut. I wasn't using my AccuQuilt. I do have a 6.5-inch die, but because I was using, with many of these, a limited amount of fabric, I was trying to get as many blocks as I could out of each one. I can't wait to see what you're up to. I hope you have time to be crafty this week. I look forward to watching your videos, and I will see you next week. Bye!